is a breath that heats you. So when days like today, when it's cold, you might want to you feel kind of cold on the inside, not really energetic, then the Ujjayi breath is a good one. Another one that's really good to kind of get vibrations, to feel internal vibrations, is called bee breathing. That's the one we're going to do today. We're going to do a little bee breathing. So if you have anybody else in your house, they may look at you or come in and wonder what you're doing. So you're going to make a little noise today. But it's a way to kind of resonate the vibrations right here in your mouth, and we'll work on it in a second. But let's get you guys in your chair, sit tall, kind of wiggle your sit bones. Yeah, I'm just gonna move a little bit. And good. And once we've kind of made our wiggles out, relax your shoulders down. Lift your chin so it's neutral to the floor beneath you. So it's not down, it's not up, it's just neutral. Feel kind of your fingertips hanging down by your hips, nice and loose hands, not making any kind of fist, or just kind of relaxed. And I'll just breathe naturally for a second or two. Just breathe in and out, like just with awareness as you normally breathe. So this is just a normal breath. Now we're just going to take our arms out to the side on the inhale. So just straight out. Inhale, arms come out straight out of your shoulders. And then exhale, down. And we'll inhale, out, and down. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Now take a little bit slower on your inhale and reach out through your fingertips. Now push the air down like you're pushing it into the floor. Now we're going to go a little higher. So inhale, inhale, inhale until your hands come all the way up. And then exhale nice and slow down. Do 4 of these. Inhale up. And exhale down. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale, nice and big. Lifting the ribs. Exhale, softening and relaxing. And now for that bee breath. So we've practiced this kind of breathing normal and breathing kind of elongating the breath. Now we're going to elongate the breath while buzzing. So you're going to take your tongue to the back of your teeth and go zzz. You feel that zzz when you make like a bee sound. And what I want you to do is exhale that bzzz as long as you can, and then stop. Take a short inhale and then go right back to the buzzing sound. So I'll do it with you. You'll just hear me. I won't hear you, but just try it. See how long you can keep the buzzing going. You might keep it longer or shorter than me, but pause, take that breath, and then try it again. All right, you ready? Here we go. Inhale, and then buzz. Inhale. And buzz. When you stop, end up, inhale again. Exhale to your buzz. Inhale. Buzz. Inhale. Last one. All right. Now Now just breathe normal. So after we're done with class, I may ask some of you how you felt about that. It kind of feels like a resonating, a vibration in your face. So just so you know, that's another option, another kind of warming, a kind of vibration to kind of get you awake breath. All right, let's do some movement. Take your right arm out to the right side, palm facing up, and then let's lean all the way over to the left. Take a big side body stretch. Reach over to the left side of your room. You can take your chin and look down, your chin towards your left shoulder. And then we'll lower the right arm. And we'll switch sides. Take your left arm out to the left side, turn your palm up, and then reach up and lean to the right. So lifting the right shoulder, lifting the left shoulder, dropping the right shoulder, and then turning your chin down towards the floor. And then we'll reach back out to the left and then down. Let's do it again. Right arm reaches out to the right side, palm comes up, reach up over your head to the left. Notice how you're putting probably more weight on your left hip. That's okay. You're just shifting your balance here. And then lower the right arm. Put your right hand on your right leg or down by your hip. And reach up with the left, palm facing up, and reach to the right. And lower that arm down. Nice and slow. Bring your shoulders up to your ears and then push it back, down, and forward. Some big shoulder rolls. It should feel nice and good. Might make some funny sounds, but that's pretty normal. We'll do just a couple more because they feel so good, warming up the back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Good. Now relax your arms down. Let's work on your neck for just a moment. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Lean to the right shoulder with the right ear. And then come back through center and lean to the left shoulder with the left ear. And I'll just take a little bit of half circles from one shoulder to the other shoulder. And rock a little side to side with the neck. Good. And now just keep coming back through center, but keep your chin down. Take your hands, interlace them. And if you need a little bit more stretch in the back of your neck, you place your hands on the back of your head. And then you can tuck your chin a little deeper. This is stretching your cervical spine. Elbows either out or elbows coming in for the deeper stretch. And you'll feel a nice stretch in the upper part of your thoracic spine and definitely in your cervical spine. Now, after taking 2 deep cleansing breaths here, we'll lift the head into the hands and lean back as if we're like staring at the sun, laying on the beach, looking up at the sky. So the head is resting in the hands. This is kind of opening up your lymphatic system underneath your arms. Maybe you're leaning back in your chair, just opening the chest. We'll take 2 more deep cleansing breaths here. Inhale and exhale. All right, now bring yourself to a neutral spine, keeping your hands either interlocked behind your head or on your hips. Optional options, take which one you want. And we're just gonna take a couple twists. Go nice and slow. And notice what you're feeling. Side to side. Always smile in your practice to remind yourself that you're having a good time. If there's ever any pain or discomfort, that's a sign that your body's like, don't do that. Always listen to your body. All right. Let's do one more on each side. And then come back through center. Arms are getting tired because mine are up on my head. So I'm going to reach up, re-extend them, and then nice and slow, float them back down. Relax the shoulders on the way. Good. Let's let the head and neck relax for a second and work on our legs, okay? So we're going to start by just kind of lifting up the right knee, maybe making some circles with it. It doesn't have to be fancy or anything. Just move your right hip. Drawing circles in the air with your knee. Whatever feels good here. And a circle in the other direction. You might feel a little inner thigh and your inner groin area when you move out to the side. If that hurts, don't do it. And then when you feel good about it, just lower the right leg back down. Let's try the other side. Lift the left knee and we'll draw some circles in the air. Nice and slow, mindful movements. If you ever feel bone on bone, be careful with that. We don't want to we don't feel like bone on bone. That's not a good thing. And in our hips and sometimes in our joint areas with arthritis, you might feel a little of that. That means you should back off. All right, now circle in the other direction. And that feels pretty good. My leg's getting pretty heavy, so I'm gonna rest it and bring it back down. And now sit nice and tall, pressing your feet into the ground, hips and shoulders stacked one on top of the other. And then we're gonna reach both arms out and then both arms up. Now exhale both hands to your lap, look down. Inhale, both arms rise and look up. Exhale, look down, hands to your lap. Inhale, arms float up and look up. So what you may notice is the spine is moving. Kind of curl, your chin tucks in when your hands go down, and the spine straightens. And then you add in if you can add in the back then by reaching behind you so your chest comes forward. And just move and breathe, do a couple of these, big or as small as you like. When your hands come down to your lap, see if you could squeeze your belly in towards your backside. Your arms don't have to be exactly stacked over your shoulders. They may go wider, more a V shape. You got tight shoulders, like I do. That freedom to move, to breathe, to feel good. When you've had enough and you're like, that's enough for me, you're just going to bring your hands to your lap and rest. Now, see if you can just feel your heartbeat. Maybe your heart rate went up a little bit. Maybe you feel a little warmer after some movement. That's always a good thing. Right. Again, feel your feet beneath you, knees bent at a kind of a 90-degree angle, sitting to the edge of your chair. We're going to move through a couple twists here. Lift your right knee up. That's my left. Lift your right knee up. I have to mirror you guys, so it's always different. Kick out your right foot. Now bend your right knee and lower it. Now take your left hand out in front of your left knee. Lift up your right knee and then look behind your right shoulder. So we're just pulling the right knee up as you reach out with your left hand. Feel the hip crease here. And then lower. Let's do the other side. Left knee comes up. Lower it, just kind of feel out, maybe kick out the left foot. And bend the knee and lower it, okay? Inhale, left knee comes up, right arm reaches out. So see if you can, like you're trying to touch something in front of you and lift up your head. If we were on all fours, it would look kind of like a bird dog pose. And then lower. We're going to add on to that sequence. Right knee rises, left arm reaches out, right hand reaches back. Keep pulling the knee towards the chest. And then lower. Other side. Left knee rises, right hand out, left hand behind you, knee comes up, and lower. Now we're going to do it in a marching kind of style. So we inhale, right knee, left arm forward, right arm back. Exhale, left knee up, right arm forward, left arm back. And just kind of move and breathe. Go nice and slow. You don't really win anything if you go faster. Concentrate on your movements. How high can you get the knee to the chest? How far can you twist? Can you do it so it looks synchronized? All right, I'm getting tired. I want to do one more on each side. You do as many as you need. I'm going to take my hands to my knees and lean forward. Take a couple breaths here. So bring your shoulders over your knees. And let's just take inhale and exhale a few times. All right, when your breath becomes back to neutral, back to normal, and it's not breathing fast or slow, just allow yourself to fold over your legs, to take a little dive, reaching for the floor, your ankles, your tops of your feet, whatever is accessible. And once you get down there, kind of let the shoulders relax, maybe the hands relax. And breathe so that you feel your rib cage and the backside expanding. So you inhale, you want to push out through your backside. And the exhale, maybe your belly softens and you can fold a little deeper. That feels so good. All right, we're going to take our time rolling up. So hands come to the shins, slide up to the knees, all the way to the thighs and to the hip creases. And then now your shoulders are back over your hips. Take your hands off of your legs and then reach a big stretch mountain pose up to the sky. Exhale the arms down. Find the back of your chair. We're going to straighten out the legs in front of you and come into a reverse plank pose. Hands come back to either hold the chair or the seat of the chair, or you can interlock them behind you. I'm going to hold the side of my chair because that seems to be the most comfortable, but you do what works for you. My feet are flat on the ground, shoulders over hips, and all I'm going to do is push my chest through my arms. Jut your chin forward and lift and telescope your neck. So big heart opening, stretching the very front side of our body. We do a lot where we stretch the back, but not as much with the front. So this is a good one to counterpose what we just did with that forward fold. This is the opposite. We'll stay here for a couple more breaths. Just enjoy. All right. When you feel you've had enough, tuck your chin towards your chest, bend your knees, slide them back in, and Bring your hands down beside your hips. All right, let's do a couple sun salutations. Inhale, reach the arms up. Big stretch to the sky. Exhale, cactus arms. Elbows go back behind the ribs. Chin lifts up. Exhale, re-extend up with the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Reach out and then reach down. Slide your hands to your shins. Lift up. Make your back nice and flat. And then exhale, fold. Take your arms out and lift up. Squeeze your belly in as you rise all the way up. Look up. Hands to your heart center, press down into your sit bones and your feet. Now inhale, re-extend up. Exhale, cactus arms back bend. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, dive forward nice and slow. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up. Hands to your heart center. Now, I know you guys know these because we've done them for a long time now. What I want you to do is just move and breathe at your own pace rather than me cueing you. If you get lost, just make up something. It's not really that important. I want you just to breathe and move at a rhythmic pace that works for you today. So I'm just going to go. You guys do you for about, 45 seconds to a minute. We'll see how it goes. When you've had enough, you'll just rest with your hands together at your heart center. Maybe close your eyes for just a second or two. And again, check in with your heart rate, with your breathing pattern. Notice how you feel. Movement makes us feel good, unless it's some sort of painful movement when you have an injury, but you want it to feel good. All right, let's open our eyes if they were closed and re-extend the arms upwards. Exhale into cactus arms, pulling the elbows back, and then bring your elbows to touch. So pinky fingers close together. If they don't touch, just kind of squeeze it. This is kind of pulling apart your shoulder blades back there. And now we're going to lean forward, bringing our elbows in towards our chest. And just feel the back. Look down into your palms. All right, now open the arms back out like you're an airplane. Take your right hand down, left arm up, and look up to the left side. And then neutral, hands out to the side. And then left arm down, right arm up. Back out to neutral airplane. Leaned, right hand down, left arm up. Do one more on each side, right arm up. To neutral, to left arm up. And now neutral. And now hands to your calves, your knees, your ankles, and just that deep forward fold again. Stretch out the back. All right, when you're ready, we slide our hands back up our legs to our hip crease, and then they fall off and Back in Tadasana. Let's move into some warrior poses next. So we're going to start with the right knee built at a crescent warrior. So right knee comes, the knee crease comes to the edge of the right side of your chair. Push back your left leg, left heel's off the ground, and see if you can kind of extend that back leg. If you can't extend, then bend your knee and keep your knee pointing down. If that doesn't feel good, take it out to the side. So we'll kind of realign our hips. So this left leg and that left hip bone pointing straight. You don't try not to point it out to the side if you can help it. Now let's start with our right hand on the back of the chair and the left arm reaching forward. And then let's reach up. And then to exalt your warrior, to add in the back bend, you just reach the left hand back behind your head. And now bring it back in front of you, neutral. Inhale, exalt it. And back to neutral. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, back to neutral. One more. Inhale, reach back. Let's hold this one. Gaze upwards, but not crank the neck back, but just lift the head up. Push back through your left heel. Feel that extension in your left hip flexor. It's a big old stretch. All right, now we're going to spin around to warrior two. Left heel is now going to ground to the floor. Right knee stays the same. Right knee is still over right ankle. And take your hands to your hips for just a second. See if you're leaning to one side and just try to bring yourself back to feeling shoulders over hips and you're not compensating more on one hip than the other one. If you have an injury, you might feel a little discomfort here, so be careful with it. All right, so this is our warrior two legs. We'll take out our warrior arms, look over your right palm, and then turn the right palm up. Now reach slightly forward, so bring your right shoulder towards your right knee. Reach up with the right hand. Let the left hand touch the left leg, or you can bind it behind your back, or you can reach down. All things are optional. Just make sure it feels okay in your body. And you feel that the obliques here on your right side, the right ribs. And we'll come back to warrior two. Let's move into extended side angle. Take your right forearm to your right leg. Left arm goes up over your head, behind your head, or hip. Pull back the left shoulder so that the left shoulder is not collapsing this way, but it's going behind you. So take your options. Try not to lock out your left knee, but press into your left heel. All right, let's make a little flow out of this. Back to warrior two, to peaceful warrior. And you can kind of flow with your arms. Any direction that feels good, you can pause, stay longer. Know that this is your practice. Design it to fit your body. Try to smile while you practice. There's a saying in yoga that you are the guru, and guru means teacher. You are your teacher. You're teaching yourself how to move, how your body works. Good. And when you've had enough, just start to slow down and relax. And we'll just bring our feet back to center and pause in our Tadasana pose. Sit nice and tall, maybe close your eyes, take a couple breaths before we move to the next leg, the left leg. All right, when you're ready, we'll take crescent warrior on the left side. So left knee crease is right at the edge of the chair. Right leg is extended out, and then turn so your right hip is pointing forward, and you want to pull your right heel off the ground. So again, you may have your knee bent more in. It could be extended further out. Just depends on what your hip's doing. Left hand is on the back of the chair. And we've got neutral spine right now. Now we're going to add on, reach out with the right hand in front of you. Bring it up. And then bring it back down. So as an inhale up, you can add in the back bend by reaching behind to exalt your warrior, or just keep straight spine. If it doesn't feel good in your back, go just to your edge. Just to where it feels like, oh, that's something, I'll take that. One more, we'll reach back. And now we'll spin around and come into our warrior two. Right heel is now on the ground. Left knee didn't really move. It's still on top of the left ankle. See if you can straighten out the right leg, but don't lock out the right knee. Find your neutral warrior two, hips over shoulders. And then stretch out the arms. Reach forward to the left. Turn your left palm up, and let's bring it over our head. Peaceful warrior. And move to our extended side angle. Your left wrist kind of touches the left leg. Right arm reaches up or hold the back of your head or the hip. Right shoulder goes back. All right, now we move and we breathe. So you can take your vinyasa, your moving breath, your breath is telling you when to move. It kind of makes this little dance, a harmonious dance that you're kind of just flowing, breathing, working as hard as you need to today. Start to slow down. Same thing, but in slow motion. One more. And then when you're ready, relax the arms. Bring your feet back to center. Pause with your hands on your lap, so kind of grounding yourself, let your shoulders relax. And take a couple breaths here. Just feeling the heartbeat again, the energy, almost like our bee breath, that buzzing feeling. We have that vibration throughout our whole body. All right. That feel good. All right, let's take a little rock forward and back. So give yourself a little space so that you're not leaning to the back of the chair. We're just gonna rock a little forward, a little back. For some of you, this is enough. This is just a gentle rock. If you want to add on, you lift the feet up as you lean back. You take as much as you need here. So eventually we're about to pop up and stand up. So what I want you to think about is when you lean forward, press into the feet. Press into the feet. One more time, press into the feet. This time we're gonna stand. Press into the feet, push into the knees to the hip to the feet, and straighten the legs. Good job, everybody. All right, turn the chair to the seat of the chair is in front of you. It will be, yeah, right in front of the seat. So stand nice and tall, Tadasana pose. Now toe heel your feet out wider than your hips. So just notice when your hips are directly underneath you, now we just got a little wider. Take your arms out to a T. I'm going to turn this way so you can see me. So arms out to a T. And take your right hand to your left hip. And then bring it back out. Left hand to your right hip. Right hand to left hip. And out. Left hand to right hip. And out. So that's the flow. But other option is to do this. If you have your chair, you can take your right hand to the left side of the chair, left arm reaches out. Or you can take your left hand to the right side of the chair and bring it back out. So if you don't want the bend, just do it to your hip. If you want to go lower, touch the seat of the chair. Nice and slow, there's no rush. Find your little pattern. Okay, doing good. All right, now we're going to come into a forward fold. So arms out to a T, here like this. And then you can take your hands to the chair or to the floor. If you want to go lower, reach for the floor. If you want to stay higher, just hold on to the seat of the chair. If you want to go a little bit lower, you can come onto your forearms, to your elbows. And this is our nice forward fold with our legs slightly out, a little bit wide-legged fold. And just rest a couple more breaths here. All right, as slow as you can, hands come up to help you up, toe heel your feet back underneath your hips. Bend your knees, squat down your buttocks, and then reach the arms out and pull yourself up, tall mountain pose. Oh, as big stretch as we can today. And then exhale, softly release your arms down. Very good. Let's take a step back with your left foot, keeping your right foot towards the chair. So left foot steps back. We're going to bend into the right knee, take your hands to the seat of the chair or the top of the chair if that's too low, and then straighten the right knee. Push your tailbone back and see if you can find a hamstring stretch here. This is called pyramid pose. Feels pretty good. You control the amount of pressure you need. Now see if you can take your left hip and move it towards the chair. Kind of dropping it down and forward. And it's funny, I can see in the camera here which hip is higher. Ideally, I want to try to get my hips, without one being higher than the other. So I want to keep my pelvis neutral. All right, that feels pretty good. Let's bend into the right knee. And now we're going to come into a balance, a warrior pose. You can keep your hands on your hips, or you can take them all the way up. Bend into the right knee. Nice. And then we'll bring the hands down, step your back foot in, shake it off. Now we'll try the other side. Right foot is going to go back this time. Left foot is forward, both legs are straight, both hips are pointing to the chair. Again, option is to lean to the back of the chair or the seat of the chair. So you're going to keep the left knee straight and then lean into it. See where you can start to feel the stretch. Encourage your right hip to move forward. And maybe adjust the left hip to kind of go back behind you. One leg may be a little tighter than the other. Just take a couple breaths here. Stretching the hamstrings. All right, that feels pretty good. Nice and slow, bend into your left knee, bringing the knee close to the seat of the chair. Hands to hips, shoulders over hips. Option to take the arms up into our full expression of warrior one. Step your back foot in, tall mountain pose. And then exhale the arms down. Roll out the shoulders. That should feel good. All right. Now we're going to bring yourself to the right edge of your chair. And we're just going to put the right foot on it. If that is too high for you, use anything that lifts you up. Like I always just look around my house. What do I have? I've got a bolster. I've got a pillow. Just kind of get your foot up 1 foot higher than the other, even if it's a block, a book, a stool, anything. Like I have a block would work too. So just keep putting 1 foot up. So I'm on my left knee here. I want you to stand really tall on the right leg. You can have your left hand on your left knee, and then take the right arm out. Option is to stay here or to lean over to the left. So feeling the side body stretch in the inner thigh here on the left. You could use your left hand to kind of encourage that knee to stay open so it doesn't come forward, but it kind of stays right in line. It's a beautiful groin stretch there. All right, so other options is to bring your arms out to a T and a reach up. So imagine this is just another version of tree. Standing up, press that. If your foot is on your seat of your chair, press your foot into the ground or into the seat of the chair. It will kind of make you feel more stable. Nice. All right, let's release that. Nice and slow, return your left foot to the ground. See if you can feel any difference in that left inner thigh. You'll make your way over to the left side of your chair. And again, take your options just to lift the right knee up on something. We'll start here. Make sure you're not too far out. You want to make sure this left leg can stay stable. Extend your left arm out. Right hand on the right knee or hip. And then if you want to add in that side body stretch, you reach over your head to the right. Push your left hip away. Option to take your right arm in front of that your right thigh and encouraging that hip to stay open. All right, arms back out to a T. And then if you want to go into modified tree, reach up through the fingertips or hold on to your hips. See if you can lift through the ribs. Tall, like you want to be nice and tall. You're a big tree. And then when you're ready, you've had enough. All you have to do is let the arms float down. And nice and slow, return the right foot back to the ground. Shake out your hips just for a second, since we got some inner thigh work. All right, now you can stand directly behind your chair, or I guess it doesn't really matter. We're just going to take the feet back out wide again. So they're a little bit wider than my chair. And we're going to drop down into our goddess squat. So this is working the quads and our legs. We're just going to drop down. Don't push your booty back, but kind of neutral spine here, neutral pelvis. And then we'll straighten the legs. So we do a couple of these. If your knees hurt, don't do it. We'll just bend and drop down. And then return back to neutral. So bend and straighten. Okay, so you can stay here. If you want to add in the arms, you just make goddess arms, bend the elbows. You can even straighten the arms on the way up, bend them on the way down. This should fire you up. Even up the legs. Let's do 3 more. You got this. 1, 2, and 3. Stand tall. Now, if you want to come into a wide-legged fold, you can fold over your chair, or you can turn the seat around and come back to whatever you were doing a minute ago, or you can reach for the floor. Don't bump your head on any of the objects nearby, and just take a nice, deep forward fold stretch. If you get dizzy with your head low, I highly suggest you just push back your hips and stay into a flat back. Especially if you have low blood pressure. You don't want your head below your heart if you got any blood pressure issues. Three more breaths in this fold. All right, when you're ready, toe heel your feet back underneath your hips, come back in, bend your knees and rise back, tall mountain, stretch up to the sky. You want to add in a back bend, reach back behind you, push your hips forward. Tuck your chin towards your chest, lower your hands, look down. Now lift your chin back up to neutral. Nice and slow, make your way back to your seat. Hopefully your hips feel good, but we're going to do one more on the hips. Bring your right knee into your chest, give it a squeeze. And then take your right ankle, place it on top of your left knee or cross at your ankles. So the right ankle will be on top of the left if this is too much for your hip or your knee. Turn back to sitting nice and tall. This seated pigeon, figure 4 pose, whatever you want to call it, but it's really deep in the piriformis muscle. So take as much as you need. You just lean the shoulders over the shin. You don't have to go very far to feel something. So be nice and slow about it. Once you get there, I want you to close your eyes. If that feels good to you, close your eyes and just breathe. All right, when you're ready, we'll just lean back and open your eyes now. And take your left hand to your right knee, right hand to the back of the chair, twist to the right side. Encourage your left shoulder to come forward. Take a yummy twist. And now back through center. Straighten out the right leg, give it a couple kicks forward, sending blood flow back to your right foot. And then we'll set up and get ready for the left knee. Left knee will draw into the chest. Just give it a squeeze, pulling the knee towards the shoulder. Now let's place the left ankle on top of the right knee or left ankle on top of right ankle. Flex your left foot. Sit nice and tall. And when you're ready, you just take your time, lean forward. All right, when you're ready, open your eyes, lean back. Take your right hand to your left knee, left hand to the back of the chair, twist towards the left. Head lifts up so the spine stretches out. Nice and slow, release your pose. Left knee, give it a couple kicks. And then straighten out your legs, straighten your knees in front of you. We're coming to our last big stretch here before Shavasana. Inhale, arms all the way up. You straighten your knees, so big stretch. And then relax the arms, maybe lean back in the chair. If you have something you want to put your feet up, like you got a couch or something, you're always welcome to do that. So if there's any last things, movements you need to do, get to it, and then find stillness. We're gonna just go through 3 more B breaths. So once you get still, we'll inhale, and then we'll exhale as long as we can, doing that buzzing sound 3 times. So we'll inhale and exhale 3 times. And then once you finish that third one, just relax. All right, so here we go. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose or mouth. And exhale out into the B sound. Teeth together, little vibration in the mouth. Inhale. Inhale. Inhale, and now just breathe naturally. Relax and be still. Now say these things in your mind. I release unworthiness. I release any fear and anger. I release resentment. I release judgment. I release envy and comparison. I release relationships that do not serve me. I release toxic people and situations. And now feel light, relaxed, and free. So freedom of letting go, of surrendering those things. Take a deep breath in. And sigh it out. Begin to bring movements back into your body. Rocking the head, moving the feet, toes, the wrists, the ankles. And we'll when you're ready, take a big stretch up over your head, that big, tall morning stretch. Hands to your heart center. We'll bring our hands together, resting our thumb on our heart. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. May you release all things that do not serve you. May you be present. May you enjoy life to the fullest. Thank you so much. Namaste.